Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. Do you want to learn about figures of speech? In this particular video, if you watch till the end, you're going to get a lot of information about figures of speech. You will be able to identify figures of speech and you will also get a lot of examples about figures of speech. So what is the main purpose for figures of speech in English language? The main purpose of figures of speech is to beautify the language, to make it look more beautiful. It also adds an element of fun, an element of interest in the language. In fact, figures of speech are very common. I'm sure you have come across them. Have you heard about nursery rhymes or tongue twisters? Like for example, she sells seashells on the seashore. Thank God I made it. Yes. Apart from this, it is also there in Bollywood songs, of course in Hindi, but the concept remains the same. So let me start with the definition of figures of speech. What are figures of speech? As I said, they are specific structures, tools and techniques of language which makes the language more beautiful, adds an element of interest, some kind of fun in the language, and also it gives us a lot of clarity about the writer's intent. In this video, I'm going to cover some common figures of speech which you will find extensively in English language. So let's start. So let us start about the figures of speech. Figures of speech, as I said, are the specific structures which are used to decorate the language and create more compelling stories for the reader. Learning the figures of speech will help you in your writing skills as well as conversational skills, as these techniques will give clarity to the reader about the writer's intent. So here what I am trying to tell you is, if you incorporate figures of speech in your language, your writing will be more interesting and more compelling for the readers. Also, using figures of speech in your conversational skills, in your speaking, will also allow to be more fluent and to be more appealing when people listen to you. So that is the reason, that is the main objective of learning the figures of speech. As I said, today I'm going to cover the very common figures of speech in English language, and the first figure of speech which I have picked up is simile. Now what is simile? Simile is nothing but a comparison using words like or as. Marked by the use of the words like or as, similes are one of the most commonly used literary devices. Similes draw parallels or comparisons between two unrelated and dissimilar things, people, beings, places, and concepts. This means that simile is a comparison between two completely different things with the help of words like or as. But then if there's a comparison between two different things, what is the comparison all about? Yes? Let me tell you how it works. Take a look at this sentence. He is like a mouse in front of his teacher. Well, does that mean that he looks like a mouse, or he has transformed to a mouse? No, not at all. Here there is absolutely no similarity between the person he and mouse, because they are completely two extreme things. But there is one common quality between these two things. And the common quality over here is, we are talking about his submissive nature. He is submissive, he is timid, he is nervous, he is a little shy. Just like a mouse, he has these qualities. And that is how he behaves when he is in front of his teacher. Another common example of simile, I can say, I am busy as a bee. So busy as a bee refers to what? I'm all the time busy doing something, just like the bee. I'm always buzzing around here and there. I'm not sitting in one place. I'm busy with too many things at a time. So these are two examples of simile. Now the next figure of speech which I'm going to talk about is metaphor. Metaphors are one of the most extensively used literary devices. In a metaphor, one subject is implied to be another so as to draw a comparison between their similarities and shared traits. So metaphor and simile both are comparisons. But in metaphor, the comparison is implied. It's not a direct comparison. Here you will not get the words like and as. It is a very implied comparison, and here it will be compared to something, again something which is very different, but there is some common quality between these two things. Life is one roller coaster ride. I have picked up this example for all of you. Life is one roller coaster ride. What does this mean? Are these two similar things? No, they're completely two different things. But imagine a roller coaster. How does a roller coaster work? It goes up, it goes down, it takes you up in the air, it makes you fall with a thud. Similarly, life is also something which is very same, because life also has its own ups and downs. Just like a roller coaster, life has its own trials and tribulations. So it can take you up, it can take you down. So it's not at all a steady and a smooth journey. As we say, life is not a bed of roses. So here in this sentence, it is a metaphor. Now there is a very slight difference, a thin line of difference between simile and metaphor. If I would have changed the sentence to life is like a roller coaster ride, if I would have used the word like or as, then the same sentence could have been stated as a simile. But in this sentence, there is no usage of like and as. The comparison between roller coaster and life is implied. That is how it is a metaphor. Let us move on to the next figure of speech. This is known as hyperbole. Yes, that is how you are supposed to pronounce. It is pronounced as hyperbole. What is hyperbole? It is nothing but an exaggeration. Exaggeration means when you tend to emphasize a lot by saying things at times which are not possible. In Hindi, we often call it badha chadha ke bolna. So hyperbole is a literary device wherein the author uses specific words and phrases that exaggerate. It creates a larger than life effect and overtly stress a specific point. Let us take this example. Her love makes me swim oceans, climb Everest, and jump to the moons. Well, is it possible that somebody would swim oceans, climb on the top of Everest, and jump to the moons? No, it's definitely not possible to do all these things at the same time. But then why did I use this? Why does the author use such instances, such structures in the language? Yes, he uses such structures because he wants people to pay attention to whatever he or she is telling. That is how it is. Hyperbole is exaggeration and it is used to emphasize on certain things. I hope this is clear for you. Now let us move on to the next figure of speech, which is alliteration. Again, alliterations are very common in English language, and as I said in the beginning, you must have come across alliteration because there are so many nursery rhymes. Tongue twisters, a very, very common example of alliteration. So it's a literary device where words are used in quick succession and begin with letters belonging to the same sound group. Let us look at this sentence. Go and gather green leaves from the grass. Can you notice that the letter G, the consonant sound G, gets repeated so many times in the sentence? All these words, they begin with the consonant sound G, and such a figure of speech where you have a repetition of a consonant sound again and again, such a figure of speech is known as alliteration. Again, Why do we use alliteration? What is the purpose? To create some fun in the language, to create some element of interest in the language. Also, it adds to the rhyme scheme, the rhyme pattern. Especially in poetries, alliteration are very common because it adds that element of interest and fun which will enthrall and appeal to the reader. Let us move on to the next one, personification. Now the name as it goes, personification refers to something which is. Personification refers to an inanimate object which would be given a human trait. It is one of the most commonly used and recognized literary devices. It refers to the practice of attaching human traits and characteristics with inanimate objects, phenomena, and animals. If you give some kind of a human trait to any inanimate object, if you give it some human quality, it is known as personification. Let us take this example. The daffodils are dancing and fluttering in the breeze. This is a very famous example from Wordsworth's poem, The Daffodils. In this poem, the daffodils, the daffodils are compared to, something which is like dancing in the breeze. Why are they dancing in the breeze? Because of the way they are swaying from one side to the other. So the quality of dancing and fluttering is very similar to that of a human being. That is the reason Wordsworth has mentioned it in his poem that the daffodils are dancing and fluttering in the breeze, just like, human beings. Because dancing is a quality which is common to human beings. The next one is, for personification, we will call it as, O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beast. This is a very, very famous line from the Shakespearean drama Julius Caesar, where Mark Antony gives his famous speech, and when he's addressing the audience, and he tries to tell them that men have lost their reason, and judgment, which is a quality, it has escaped from humans, and it has fled to the beasts, the animals. So judgment is an abstract thing, but it is given a human quality as it has escaped from human beings and it has gone and started living with the animals. Brutish beast refers to animals. So similarly, judgment, which is an abstract thing, is given a human quality. So that was all about figures of speech, and I have covered some common figures of speech in my presentation and video today. Now I have something interesting for you all. I would request all of you to pause your video at this point of time, take a quick recap of whatever you have learned, and test your knowledge by attempting this quiz. After doing the quiz, you can again play the video and check your answers, because the answers are given in the next slide. So that was all about figures of speech. I'm sure this tutorial on figures of speech has added a lot of value to your learning. So I would request all of you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done it till now. Do not forget to hit the bell icon, because the moment I upload a video, you will get an immediate notification. Apart from this, you can also stay connected with me through my Facebook page. The link is given in the description box. And moreover, if you want to be a part of this journey where you can inculcate a lot of writing skills, creativity and grammar concepts, you can also enroll for my course, where I have given the link in the description box. So that was all for today. Stay safe, stay happy, and I wish you all the best.